Equal rights and justice for all. Rise and never fall. Tell them, say, boom. What they gonna do when enough of them not true? Say what they gonna do, them get slow, yeah. Who do you think you are? We're living in a small world.
Hi, my name is Amy de Miceli from No One Has to Die Tomorrow. Today is the 28th day of February, 2018, and I'd like to share an article with you. So let's jump right in. You can follow along at noonehastoDieTomorrow.com. And the article is titled, Steven Seagal and the Secret of the New Soviet Man. In 2016, America began to grumble loudly about making America great again. The slogan MAGA took hold of people of all backgrounds. At its core, the people were ready to stop the freight train of socialism dead in its tracks. But after just 1 year, there has been a U-turn, and the awakened masses are being rerouted right back onto the train bound for hell. How have these rallies for America actually been hijacked? How can it be that everyone is now cheering for all the wrong ideas, all the same ideas they fought against? The answer is simple, yet cloaked. It is the new Soviet man. It is the merging of two seemingly opposite ideas and ideologies, and we are smacked back right into the thick of it under Trump's rule. Well, it has actually never gone away. Throughout the entire Obama presidency, it was practically a daily talking point. But so far, under Trump, it has gone down the memory hole. And that is looking at this Trump presidency optimistically, with the rosiest of shades. It is much worse. We are actually rolling out the red carpet for the Soviet agenda. And who better to walk the red carpet than Hollywood stars? Take the big Russian narrative happening today, add in some of the Hollywood sex abuse scandal, and let's cast the best actor for the role, Steven Seagal. A man with some insight on both issues. We can laugh at him and be disgusted by him or impressed by him, but whatever emotion he evokes in you, it will be distracting. In the past, Seagal has claimed to have actually trained CIA agents and protected famous world leaders on behalf of the CIA, and this is often laughed off. But given Hollywood's CIA connection, it's probably not a joke. No more of a joke than Ronald Reagan, Mr. America himself, turning from actor to president. And of course, Arnold, my father is a Nazi Schwarzenegger becoming the governor of California, and now our reality TV star president. It's all a real mess for our minds to process, and that's the whole point. The new Soviet man is the merging of the Americans and the Russians forming the perfect communist, a total slave for the capitalist, and we're applauding and cheering it in, and they're using Vladimir Putin and Steven Seagal to convince the right-wing conservative branch of the American populace. Steven Seagal has recently been issued a shiny new red passport, given to him by his best chum, Vlad. It is reported on as if these guys are just friends, a couple of strong men who love martial arts, and bada boom, here you go, pal, you're a Russian. However, his loyalty to Russia and Putin should not be taken lightly. In 2011, Seagal felt compelled to direct Putin's attention to Russia 2045, an interesting think tank who has the goal to usher in a new man. Seagal asked Putin to support the organization and the new technology they are bringing forth, artificial intelligence, also known as singularity or transhumanism. Seagal is most excited that this group is coming out of Russia, heading a movement that Seagal is, quote, proud to be a part of. In the letter, Seagal notes that he considers himself to be Russian. His grandparents were Russians who lived in Russia at the height of the Bolshevik Revolution. Seagal seems to think this technology, under the guidance of Russia, will be a, quote, kind of paradise on Earth. It is clear that both Putin and Seagal agree whatever country takes the lead on AI will rule the world. It's interesting that Seagal is hopeful that it will be Russia. So it leaves a question as to who Seagal is really looking out for. Seagal has been appearing on all the news channels to discuss his love of America and how we could be great if we would just get along with Russia. The current Russia-American alleged conflict is fake. A threat of fear for Americans to relive from decades past. The relationship is constantly love-hate, like a broken record, always with the solution being that we must unite with Russia for global peace. It is meant to confuse you, so you have no idea what's going on. It's a distraction for all sides, the Democrats and the Republicans, to get tangled up with. In 2015, that would be Obama's White House. It was reported that Seagal would become a go-between with the White House and the Kremlin, according to 4 current and former U.S. officials. This is nothing but a movement for Americans to be afraid once again of Russia, then quickly acquiesce and have us running into the arms of Uncle Vlad or Joe or Lenin or Gorbachev or Khrushchev all in the name of peace, running us further into the depths of hell that is called communism. They play this record over and over and over, and we go right around with them again and again. The true issue at hand is the same as it's been since the 1950s, when the merge began publicly. Get the children today, and the future will belong to the new Soviet man tomorrow. First, with Eisenhower making a deal to unite with Russia using the children, starting with the U.S.-Soviet education agreements. Then Reagan's education deals with Gorbachev. At a time when we were all so sure the end of communism was on the horizon, it was actually the biggest leap towards communism for America. The Carnegie Foundation was right on top of it, making agreements on our children's behalf with the Soviet Academy of Sciences. And there's nothing you can say about it. As long as you send your kids off to school each morning, they are a part of the merge. Agreements to unite our education systems, moving the U.S. from an education system that was a children were learning things system towards a school-to-work-based system. You know, the one we all applaud for these days, one where there will be zero unemployment? Surprise! That's not a good thing. It crushes the spirit of the child, and it churns out a worker. One very similar to the previously churned out worker, and another, and your precious little Becca becomes a number. I doubt Becca was brought into the world to become a cog in the system, to be a producer for the industry of someone else's choosing, for their profit alone. Unfortunately, there is little thought as to who and what we are here to do, and now we have all been trained to think about how to earn a living. So going to school to learn instead of going to school to get a job is no longer practical. What is the point of learning about classical musicians or how to milk a goat or change a tire or learn Greek or make bread from scratch if you can't make big money from it? This is our advanced system. We are so smart now. We are light years ahead of our backwards pre-industrial revolution era selves, or so we are led to believe. The merge is promoted as a partnership, and it's ongoing, straightforward, full steam ahead, with trials and steps forward and steps backwards. It's all by design, and the agenda will be pushed ahead by as many leaps as we allow. And if we don't allow a leap, they will take a stride. And if we don't allow that, they will take a step. No matter how small they get ahead, they will take it from us, and your children, and your grandchildren. They have not stopped, and will not stop. It matters not who is at the helm. Bush, Clinton, Obama, they move forward. Even Trump, willing or not, is pushing ahead the agenda to merge. His Department of Education head, Betsy DeVos, is making progress, massive progress, with her school choice fallacy and the federal web that they intend to put every student under, including the homeschool student. They will woo you with cash and vouchers and tax credits, and the homeschool parents, as well as the rest, will be caught up and brought under the system. Just wait to see what DeVos has in store to deal with the school shootings. It is sure to frighten you. Using Steven Seagal seems like a joke, but he will net support for a merge from some unlikely sources, and that is his role. They are ambushing us with actors, so the lines of real life and make-believe can be blurred so easily. The political agenda and Hollywood go hand in hand. They are partners and we are the audience. It is happening to us, not by us, as long as we allow it. They use Hollywood to suck you in, to trick you with their act. They cannot get you to agree to their bondage without trickery. And that is what they are after, our bondage. What else comes with zero unemployment? Happiness? Not likely. How many people are not happy with their careers or left unfulfilled with the paper for time equation? Never mind if they had to deal with careers they are forced into, based on arbitrary details. It is a slow process. We must be tempered in. Otherwise, we will reject the conditioning. It has taken generations to make it this far, and soon the masses will be begging for the whole enslavement of their children. And that is the sickest and saddest part. They will gladly hand them over to be juiced like an orange to which they themselves will not get a drop of juice from. Whether Trump himself has any idea of what's happening around him, or if he was just reading a script, I don't know. But since the election, we have seen his advisors on the inside of the White House, and they are all neoconservatives, the master manipulators, who have been molding the new Soviet man for decades, using pages straight out of the Bolshevik playbook. As for Trump's advisors from outside the Beltway, have they forgotten the big picture? Are they ignoring the new Soviet man banging at our door? At the very least, they have turned a blind eye and a deaf ear on the subject. And we will not allow that any longer. because no one has to die tomorrow. Thanks for listening. I look forward to your feedback. Keep your candle burning bright.
And pay for this washing of the brain, and pay for these guns and cocaine, the sick and the lame. Alright, that day will come when I shall stand and see all those wicked men in the fire getting